Hello, everyone. Welcome to Weekly Insider number 137. Today is Monday, May 23rd, 2022, and we are live on Discord and YouTube. Thank you for joining us, and please be aware that this call is being recorded and will also be available for you to check out later on our Horizen podcast. And please also remember to ask your questions for the team on Menti, and we will provide the link in chat shortly. So today we're going to go ahead and kick it off with our engineering department. Welcome, Alberto.
Hi, all. Thank you. So, as usual, we can start with Zendu. About Zendu, we have been working on the update tip event that was not always propagated through the WebSocket channel. And during the code review, we also decided to take the opportunity to increase the scope of the existing tests, something that we are doing right now. Furthermore, always regarding Zendu, we're moving on with the design extension of Zendu in order to more efficiently manage sidechains whose use cases don't require full decentralization. As mentioned the last time, our design has been done having in mind a full decentralized sidechain system. And for some cases that don't require full decentralization, some of these functionalities are not needed. So we're moving on for restructuring or adding the possibility to not have these kind of features. Moving on with the SDK, for what regards Blaze, one important update is that in the last few days, we have been working on the final preparation for the 0.3.3 release that is introducing the main chain block reference deserialization fix, the safe node stop procedure, and the inconsistent storage recovery, and the certificate submitter improvement on the active sync. So these were, let me say, important features and bug fixes that we wanted to add it to the new release. Moreover, we have continued working on several other things. Just to name a few of them, we are taking care of the network connectivity related issues. The fix for the local wallet that was not returning the boxes locked by a custom proposition. And for all of these, the development is done and the code review is ongoing. And the fix for the API freeze during the node synchronization, we're also here, the development is done. And then the review is ongoing. So this was all about Blaze. And on the other end, for what regards the EVM sidechain, as mentioned last week, we have identified a path that will speed up the development and at the same time will allow sidechains non-EVM based to be ready for Ethereum tools compatibility out of the box. In parallel, the EVM sidechain development is moving on, and among the various things, we're working on the integration of the Golang EVM lib, the Ethereum transaction, the account node view components introduction, and I mean state wallet, mempool, and history, and the integration of the storages to the state to be able to manage accounts, smart contract information, and other metadata. And last but not least, regarding the EVM, the sidechain block now is expanded to include specific account fields like the state root, the receipt routes, and so on that are, let me say, additional fields that are specifically needed to achieve, let me say, the compatibility with Ethereum tools and to better manage all the new kind of transactions that we are introducing in the new version of the SDK supporting the EVM. Okay, moving on with the proving system, we are proceeding with extensive research on additional approaches for proving sidechain execution in a more developer-friendly way. So let me say, when you write your sidechain application logic, you can write in a language, and we want these, let me say, to have the developer implementing his own logic in a way that is provable, but at the same time not having to deal with snarks and secrets and these complex logic. So there are let me say, approaches that are possible right now and are becoming feasible. And so we are currently deeply exploring them, and we are performing this research that includes comparisons, internal deep understanding, practical tests, and benchmarks. So, as I said, this is currently in progress, so we will keep you posted on this. So these were the main points for today. Back to you.
Amazing. Thank you. And on to Vano for BD and operations updates.
Today, I wanted to provide a short update regarding HD, where we had two tasks or bounties, as we like to call them, for our Token Mint platform. The first task we had was for testing Token Mint platform and Cobalt's web wallet on testnet, and we had 10 slots there, and we had like amazing feedback and great activity for the task. And the second for the second one, because of this great activity, we added 10 more slots, and we had 20 slots for the second task, which was for creating your own token on our Token Mint platform. And then, because of still great activity, we added 5 more slots and had a total of 25 participants. Both tasks are now complete, and I would like to thank everyone for participating and providing a very useful feedback regarding our Token Mint platform, Cobalt web wallets, and the testnet version of Sphere. And I guess, it will be used to develop these platforms further. In the future, we will have more tasks regarding our new tokenization platform and other products as well. So stay tuned. That's all from me. Back to you, Erica.
Thank you, Vano. And now on to Victor for product and engineering updates.
Thanks, Erika. From our side, I can say that we have an update regarding audit chain that is being deployed today in testnet. We had to rebase it on the latest version of Blaze SDK. We waited for that. That was available since Friday. And this version included also some requirements for the sidechain app to develop to be compatible with this version. So an interface that was missing in the sidechain app. So prior to deploying it, it was mandatory to implement these changes. About Token Mint, we had an important milestone this week, actually 2 big milestones for this week, that were the token generator launch and Cobalt that is officially on the Chrome Web Store. You can find the link in the slide that I posted in the chat room. Then we are currently actively working for the next big milestone of Token Mint, the version that will bring also NFTs to our ecosystem. In particular, is ready the sidechain development for enabling the options to have tokens that are burnable and mintable. So token that can be burnt from the supply point perspective, and that can be minted after the first initial supply. Another option that we provide to NFTs is specific for games. We give 2 metadata fields for NFTs, one that is updatable, one that is not. The one that is updatable is specifically designed for games, so we will talk a little deeper about this feature. We plan to deploy as soon as possible for testing, for internal testing, this sidechain, and even for our colleagues to start integrating the tools to this sidechain. About the EVM sidechain, apart from what was shared already from Alberto, I can say that about the content of milestone 1, we will start from being compatible with tools, in particular with most affirmed wallets of the DeFi. So we will start from implementing an interface and an API server to implement all the Ethereum functions that are used by the most used wallets. And apart from that, the all other features that are specific of Ethereum, like the serialization blocks and transactions that makes them compatible, will make our sidechain compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. And that's all. Thanks. Back to you, Erika.
Thank you, Victor. And now for Lucy for the marketing updates.
Thank you, Erica. Happy Monday, everyone. So I hope you all have created your own tokens on Tokenman by now, and also own multiple tokens created by other people. So if not, I encourage you to try out our Tokenman to create your own tokens, and you can send us your tokens for our test any. And then you can use your test any to redeem for Horizen swag. So there are already quite a few people who got some cool swag that way. You can also use your test any to level up your pilot role in our Discord. So there is a limited time you can redeem your test any for swag or higher Discord role. I believe it's the end of this month, so you still have a few days to acquire more test any for these goodies. And to acquire more Tezeni, we have a Tezeni giveaway where you can enter to win 5,000 Tezeni. And also, anybody that provides us useful feedback after using Tokenment and its tools will get Tezenis as well. So we have already received valuable feedback from our users, and this feedback was applied to the latest release of our Kobo wallet. So, and also I'm really happy to hear that we have received a lot of participation from the HDE tasks. And next week is a special week for Horizen. It will be our 5th anniversary, and we will celebrate this day with the team and community. So stay tuned for more information about that. And more about events, we will be at Consensus the week after next week. So we are giving away some Consensus general admission tickets. They're usually quite pricey, so this can be a good opportunity to attend this popular crypto event. If you have never been, it's pretty fun. And that's it from me. Back to you, Erica.
Thank you, Lucy. And we'll be bringing on Rob for leadership updates and Q&A session, but I just want to remind everybody to vote for their favorite question on Menti now. Thank you, and on to you, Rob.
Thanks, Erica. Okay, guys, Token Mint with the token generator, just awesome, I have to say. I've really enjoyed using it myself, and just huge kudos to the team for making this happen in such a professional way. And we finally have a Dean token created. I don't know if any have been minted yet, but I saw some action going on with Dean token. So try to ping that token creator to get some for yourselves. That's going to be a hot one. So just overall, the system works really well, and that's impressive. But deeper under the hood, why it's such a big deal, and I've been reinforcing this to our team, is that Zendoo in the cross-chain transfer protocol is our big differentiator. We're going to be rolling out a bunch of products that are going to look and feel specifically like other crypto projects. Like our EVM is going to have the exact look and feel of Ethereum, right? That's the main point of it. We just launched Token Mint and a generator. And the point there is to do things like minting tokens, then NFTs. Many of these functions are going to be very similar to experiences that you would have across the industry. And that's the point. That is clearly not our big differentiator, is to just catch up and do things that other people can do. It's Zendoo. It's the cross-chain transfer protocol. It's the fact that we can have a zero-knowledge enabled way of communicating between chains, whether that's sending Zen today, tokens tomorrow, maybe other types of data structures in the future. That's really the core of what makes us special in this industry. And Token Mint, and also now you heard Audit Chain, are two chains that are actually live using this technology. So Token Mint is, again, from a function perspective, simple, but the fact that this is the first demonstration of running something live on Zendoo is the really big deal. And like I've been kind of joking in a way, well, I mean, it's true, saying that this is one small step for crypto, but one giant leap for us at Horizen. Absolutely true. So this cannot be overstated enough in its importance for us here as a community. And I'm also dying to see our first NFT drop on Token Mint in Horizen. So really pumped for that. And that was pretty tantalizing information that Victor was giving us on NFTs specifically designed for games. Looking forward to seeing how that manifests. Okay, beyond that, it's time to start going all in on the EVM project. You heard Alberto talking about accelerating this. In his cool ways of telling you things, he sounded very calm and collected about things, but we've actually been going pretty deep and pretty intensely behind the scenes to make this project a big success. And the EVM going live, day one for EVM Live being successful, we're going to have to carve out specific metrics for what that means. We want this to be, number one, from a technical perspective, we want these nodes to look and feel exactly like Ethereum nodes. We're also going to want to lay some basic infrastructure to make this successful. For instance, we're going to want to have MetaMask integration, potentially Etherscan integration. So some of the tools that developers and users are familiar with in Ethereum. But then we're also going to want some apps that are going to make it useful for us, right? And in Token Generator or with Token Mint, you have a whole bunch of tokens being generated. I've generated a bunch of them myself, and I love it. It's cool, but until we have a decentralized exchange for those tokens, or maybe an automated market maker that we could do with EVM, it's not as useful. So our ecosystem to kind of hit that minimum viable product stage as an ecosystem, we're going to focus a lot of our efforts on the EVM, and we're going to be very diligent about this. So it's not just an engineering project that we're doing, even though that's obviously the bulk of the work that's ongoing right now. But we're also going to have to think deeply about, from the BD perspective, are we going to be reaching out to which partners, and how are we going to convince them to build on our EVM? Which projects, if we don't have other takers, would Horizen Labs, as an example, decide to launch? Would Horizen Labs launch the first AMM or a lending protocol or other important things to just seed this ecosystem and get it going? Which Oracle feeds are we going to have pointing into our EVM so that we can have other applications using them? Right? These are all really important details that are going to make for a very successful launch, or say a not as interesting launch. So this is what I mean by it's time to start going all in on our EVM project. All right, even just in the example that we have a fantastic smart contracting team now. Well, we don't have an EVM yet, but we're getting close, and we'll probably have an EVM alpha version on a testnet at some point in the coming months. So now is probably the time, if we just do some backward induction of when we need to start working on things, is probably about now. All right. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys a heads up, because there's going to be a lot of action going into this EVM. And now that we have Token Mint Live, the generator out there, we've proven that we can do sophisticated things, even simple and function again, but sophisticated engineering using Zendu. Now a lot of our attention is going to pivot into the EVM side, and we're going to make sure that this is a massive successful launch for us. Okay. So I would say, as important as the EVM is, let me just say it's not our end goal here. It's a critical, necessary, absolute must for us to build an ecosystem, but our work doesn't stop with the EVM. Some of the things that Alberto mentioned, in particular on the proving system side, are going to be really important for our future. So I believe strongly that the future is about provability and decentralization. And even our first two sidechains are, just as an example, are necessarily semi-decentralized right now. So Token Generator and Audit Chain, the EVM, they're going to be semi-decentralized, not completely decentralized. In particular, on the virtual machine side, just because it's just the state of the art in the on the technology side with Snarks, you need deterministic circuits. So it's tough, or it's not. It's going to be a big challenge, and the industry is racing towards a provable virtual machine, and we're going to be part of that race. So we're committing quite heavily. We have for a while now committed ourselves on the provability side, but we took this, say, necessary detour towards an EVM so that we can really jumpstart the ecosystem building and do a lot of the necessary things that other ecosystems are doing. But in the long run, we want provability. And provability for us manifests in one of two ways, maybe both. And Alberto mentioned one of them here on the whole, what he said, providing sidechain execution in a more dev-friendly way, or proving sidechain improving sidechain execution in a more dev-friendly way. So we're looking at some potential augmentations or improvements to the Lattice product that we envisioned last year. And that could be really interesting. So it wouldn't be a full virtual machine, but it would be something potentially extremely useful for developers on the provability side, and potentially maybe enterprise applications there. On the other side, we're going to race towards the ZK EVM. All right, this is one of our, you call it our North Star. As an industry, I think that you have some really big players racing in this direction, and we're going to be part of that race. We're very well positioned to be there, and all of the work that we're doing now, from launching Token Mint and improving our SDK, figuring out how to integrate an EVM, now doing improving system work, working towards Lattice. All of these things are kind of stepping stones towards that final end goal of a ZK EVM. So it's that product that we think lends itself best for security and full decentralization. And that's what we're going to race towards. So anyway, a lot ongoing, guys. And this is like one huge, I don't know, like dozen-dimensional chess game going on here with the industry that we're in. But it's nice to see that we have some really some short-term wins that are important steps towards our mid and long-term goals, towards ultimately full decentralization and a very secure system that's provable. So anyway, I'll wrap up here by saying that someone mentioned ZenCon 0 in a previous call, I think. So more details forthcoming on that, but we are going to target having our first community, organized event that I think is going to spin off naturally from. We were planning a kind of a team all hands event, and I think we're going to open it up to the community. It's going to be super fun. It's not going to be your normal conference. It'll be more a series of working sessions and fun kind of science, tech, engineering, and product demos and working sessions with you guys. It's probably not going to be completely open. We'll see, TBD. It might be more of an exclusive apply to come, and we'll have some of our most active and supportive community members attend with us. Anyway, I'll stop here. We can open it up to Q&A. We have a little bit of extra time today.
My apologies. My screen froze, so let me get that pulled up really quickly.
Excuses, huh?
I know. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Do we have an elevator music too?
I know, right?
So I am going to have to ask somebody else because my screen is
Maybe I can help. I can
Okay, thank
help.
you.
I have the all right, Rob, first question for you. Do you have programs planned such as hackathon to expand the ecosystem with developers?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have anything planned yet, but it's a great idea. I absolutely think we should. I think it makes a lot more sense though once we get the EVM live. Really, before then, it's kind of us using our SDK as kind of an internal product. I don't think it's really ready yet for external usage. But once that EVM comes, absolutely, we're going to have a ton of events, and I think that that's a good one. As well as I think we're going to need some kind of like that Zen Ventures program we were envisioning, treasury grants and things like that. A bunch of different things I think will have to work in concert with each other for really turbocharging ecosystem growth.
Awesome. That sounds exciting. Maybe that can be part of the summit.
Sounds cool.
Yes. Second question. For the new sidechain type, what does sidechain will not be fully decentralized mean exactly?
Well, it's like Token Mint right now, and the EVM as envisioned with Blaze. So Blaze went on the concept, if you guys remember, some months ago, we were calling it pretty good decentralization as kind of an ode to PGP, pretty good privacy. What it was you declare a certifier set up front, and this declared set has the right to actually pass certificates back to the main chain. So it's not completely decentralized in the sense that of like what we're planning with Lattice, and then what I was talking about with ZK EVM. And let's know it's the way that all of the other sidechain systems on the market work. So like Cosmos, Polkadot, that's the similar vein for PGD and the Blaze product. And it's just because certain things are, like a virtual machine where you can script anything just aren't provable right now with the current state of the art. So rather than wait for that, we decided to launch some products today with what we have and work towards the full decentralized provable systems like Lattice and zkVM. No, actually, let me just quickly note that, but Zendoo, it actually supports full decentralization. So Zendoo, the backend protocol, is really our key differentiator. That supports full decentralization, but some of the first products that we're launching are those that actually come with their first declared certifier sets. Hopefully that answers your question, yes. And if not, if we want more technical detail, I heard a rumor that we have Alberto on the line as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think you described it very well. I mean, the only thing that I would add is that in the current version, I mean, as you said, Zendoo is able to support a fully decentralized session because, I mean, it verifies the snark proof that is submitted with the certificate, and this can be done in different ways. And to have the full decentralization on the sidechain side, you have to prove the whole history, And so you have to have all the recursive snarks generation. I mean, you have the base proofs, the recursive snark merging, and then in order to provide a succinct proof of the whole history, that is a cryptographic proof that proves that all the transfers follow the sidechain rules and so on. To be able to have a sidechain running also right now without having the full recursive proving system yet, we're using another approach that is, let me say, the most common one. I mean, for what the cool thing is that from the Zendoo perspective is totally transparent because Zendoo, I mean, accept a certificate validating a snark proof. So you can implement your own logic on the sidechain side and write, let me say, a circuit that reflects that logic. And in this case, for what regards token mint, without let me say, proving the whole history, you're using a set of certifiers that are, let me say, agreeing on the state on the sidechain and then committing the certificate in mention, let me say, reaching the majority. And this is the most common approach that is out there, and the current SDK version is using that approach. What I was mentioning before is that we're moving on with the full provability on the sidechain side. There are multiple ways for doing that, and one of the way that we're currently exploring, expanding, and even, let me say, moving forward is, let me say, having a more friendly way for writing logic that doesn't require the developer to write circuits enforcing the rule of the sidechain. In such a way, you will have the advantages of full provability, because, let me say, with the language and, for example, the virtual machine will be able to provide a snark proof. At the same time, the developer will not have to take care about circuits and such complex logic. I hope that this clarified.
Thank you, Rob and Alberto. So last question. What has surprised the team the most about the alpha testing provided by the community?
Wow, great question. So actually, I'll just give you my quick answer, and then I'll pass it on to either Victor or John if you guys want to talk on the product side. But I'd say number one, the fact that everything's just working so smoothly is it's just amazing. Not that I expected it not to, but like when you work on this kind of complex project and everything goes live, you just kind of grit your teeth and hope that things work well. It worked amazing, actually. So I was just extremely pleasantly surprised with how smooth everything went. And on the community side, I was actually shocked with how explosive the growth of our community numbers have been and engagement has been since this product went live. It's just kind of crazy. Like everything's on testnet right now. All these tokens are being generated and passed around and people are having fun. They don't have any economic value. And it's just crazy to see how excited people are to participate in and get their hands on these tokens that or truly just for fun. So anyway, those for me were the biggest surprises. And John, Victor, if either of you guys want to chime in on your side, please do.
Yeah. So before John or Victor step in, for me it was, and this is Rosario by the way. For me it was the it's a proof of delivery for the team, because this is not only so this token mint project had several components. So we had the sidechain piece, we had a front end piece, a wallet, and even a mini dApp, that the token generator, to make the user experience very smooth. And then you had the deployment perspective. So all this different teams working together to do this. So for us internally, it was a great to see the cross collaborations of the different teams, and then a very smooth deployment. So I think just a huge congrats to the team, and we're just getting started. So we onboarded a completely new product team less than a year ago. We started about a year ago. So all these new team members putting and designing these different parts of the products together. And I was as well very excited to see the push of the excitement of the community. And our marketing team just did such a great job, has done and is doing such a great job with the campaign. So not only did we have great coordination internally within the tech teams, but also with our marketing team. And I think this is the first time that we're seeing this impact. So great to see that. And I think, Victor, you were coming along, so I will pass on the baton to you.
Yes, thanks, Rosario. I was pretty impressed, and actually we made some bets around the numbers we will have seen both in the Discord members and in the token generated and transferred, and really the answer of the community outperformed our bets, actually. I was pretty impressed by the movement and the excitement of this community, and I'm really enjoying seeing all these good feelings and energy throughout the team, and we are pretty happy with all the glory this is having. And a big thanks to the team, because they are really awesome.
Thank you, Victor. That's so nice to hear. And actually, Andrew just gave us some really good feedback and reports in terms of community sentiments, and also how they feel about the token mint. So maybe Andrew, if your mic works, you share your insight with us. Great. Sounds perfect. Thank you, Andrew. This is such a perfect question, and thank you so much for asking the question, and really nice to hear all the responses. And I think I'm gonna pass the baton back to Erica.
Thank you, Lucy. So that's it for today's Weekly Insider. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. For next week, we do want you to be aware that Monday is a team holiday, so we will be celebrating our 5th anniversary on Tuesday with our Weekly Insider, which will likely be hosted on YouTube instead of Discord. So we will be sending out some social messages about that to remind everybody, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, everyone.